Okay, so let's continue our assembly here. We have this door sub-assembly inside of it. And so the last video, the hinge here is coincident with this back face, and the center of this door assembly is coincident with the center of our frame. So what we want to do now is we want to start adding some other constraints and piecing this together, or mates. And so the next mate that we're going to do is I want this surface here and that surface there to be coincident, so to be on the same center line. And so once I do that, it kind of starts pulling things together a little bit. So now those things are on the same, they kind of move together, and so we'll lock that into place here in a few minutes. Maybe not even a few minutes, a minute or so. Okay, the next thing that I want to do is, well, this surface here is going to butt up against this surface here, which I can't see, so I will select other, take that away so I can select that face there. Okay, and there we go. And so now we have our hinge kind of put together. So you can see it's on the same shaft. This door will hinge with it. Of course, everything's moving up and down, so we need to put one more in. So I'm going to slide this one down here, and then I will have one more mate to put in 1 second. I forget what the dimension is. Okay, so we want that to be 2 inches down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick this top surface here, the top surface of my frame, and then I'm going to put it at a distance. We'll make that distance 2 inches. So I look at it now, and that should, when I close it, it will close completely in there, and everything looks good, and that's great. Except it looks a little bit off there. I think that I put one of the hinges in the wrong spot, because typically the hinges will be lined up. So let's go back and fix one of those mates. So we'll go here into our mates. That one is the one that's the problem, and we will just hit delete and we'll remove that mate. And so now should be able to slide this whole thing back and forth a little bit. We're spinning it around. And let's see, I want to get this surface here, so we'll select other. I want to get that one there, and then, actually, let's not pick that surface. I'm going to make that surface there. We'll select other, because I want to grab that surface there, and then hit OK. There we go. That looks more hingy. Okay, so I've got that hinge in there. Now, eventually, what are we going to do? We're going to put a pin here. We're going to put some more screws in. But before we do that, I want to put another hinge in. And so we're going to browse that. We're going to bring up the other hinge. Okay, we're just going to drop that into our assembly. And then what we're going to do is we are going to mate it up. So we'll take that surface there, come over here, take that surface there, put those together. Let's make sure that's right. Yeah, okay, those are the correct surfaces. And then we will go on this inside surface here and do for the pins. So we'll make that concentric, put that together. And then we're going to go that surface, and then select other, go through here, let's see, get that face put together. Okay. And so that should be fully constrained, so the hinge is fully constrained. We don't need to do the up and down because it's all based off the other hinge, so that's all set. And so the next thing is let's put our pins in, and then we'll go drop some new holes in. So let's go, and that pin that we made, just take that, we're going to drop that here, and then mate. So that cylindrical surface with that one. And then I'm going to flip it in the other direction because I want that head out here. And then we're going to tap the pin in until it hits that surface. And there we go. So now we've got our pin in there. We'll say OK. Now I do want to point out with the pin. Let's go and look for it here. You will see the pin has got that negative sign next to it, which means it's not fully constrained. That's fine on a pin. It can spin freely. That's not going to change anything. See, I can rotate the pin. That's okay. So let's go and let's pull another pin in. I'm just going in there, picking the pin that I made, and we're going to mate it up and say that that's going to have to slide right into there. So those two surfaces will be concentric. That's actually where I want it. I'm going to grab it and pull it out just to make it easier to grab that surface here, because that's what we're going to tap it into. So we want those two surfaces to always be on top of each other. And so there we go. So now we have our pins. So the next thing that we need to do is we need to drill some holes in here just like we did before. So what I'm going to do is I need to sketch out some points because we are going to drop this out just like we did before. Okay, so we're going to go to sketch, we're going to grab our point, we're going to set a sketch on that face. Tells me, yeah, you know, you're sketching within the assembly, don't care. That's what we want to do. I'm just going to wake this up, make sure I can grab the center of that, and we're just going to do this for all the holes. And I'm doing this all in, oops, I don't want to do that, but we'll go back and delete that one here. I'm going to do this for all the holes because I'm going to do that feature-based pattern again. And since that way I will not have to, I only have to do one screw. And that makes things a little bit on the lazy side, but that's okay. Truthfully, a good engineer doesn't recreate and make more work for themselves. They want to be, it's not being lazy, it's being efficient. Okay, let's go clean up that one there. So we got our points, we'll say okay. You can see that one's even undefined, so we'll just click on it and delete it, get rid of it. Okay, and from there we're going to go and we're going to make the same hole that we did in our door assembly, which was a 7/64 hole. I don't remember how big that was, so we'll go to feature properties. Just wanted to see how, can't remember how deep that was. I do know it was 7/64. So let me go double check that. Okay, that's 3/4 of an inch. So we're going to go back here to our assembly and assembly features. Actually, no, wait. We're trying to make a hole. We actually don't want to do assembly features because that's not going to help us at all. Actually, it is assembly features. I've got to finish the sketch. Now I can go and go hole wizard. Okay, and so we wanted a 7/64 inch hole, and so we're just going with a hole, all drill sizes, and we want 7/64, 132, 7/64. It's not a countersink, it's just a straight hole, so what we need is we're going to need to add in our depth. Far side countersink, end condition blind, 0.75 inches. Okay, and from there we're going to go to position. And we're just going to click our points. I'm going to tell it that's the surface. I'm just going to go right to our points. we'll let it cut in. So there's our points. And so the last thing that we want to do is, not me, we want to insert one more component. We want to go back and grab our screw. And we are going to put it back in the hole just like we did before. Go there to there. And then that surface, go planar with that one there. Okay, and all done. And so then at this point, we're going to go into our linear component pattern, under our linear component pattern, and we are going to go to pattern-driven component pattern. So what component are we going to pattern? It's going to be that one there. What's the driving feature? It's going to be that hole there. And, no, actually that's only gives us the one hole. Let's go back here and just tell it the driving feature is that hole and say OK. And then you're going to go, what happened? Look at those being off like that. Well, because I picked that one first and it's patterning it off that hole there, can we fix it? Of course we can. We're just going to go into our screw here and we're going to change our mates. We're going to get rid of this concentric because that is what's causing the problem. And we're just going to move it to a different spot. And so I'm going to go, I want to mate that hole there with, and now I can't see that because it's all solid. So I go select other, select that face of the screw. It's going to move the screw over. And there we go. The pattern is all good. So now what we've done is we've completed the assembly with our little sub-assembly in it. So the next thing that we're going to do is we'll play with some studies and make some videos and things, and that should be kind of fun. But for right now, this is where we'll end this video.